Your daughter is welcome to become a veterinary surgeon. Admit her in Nairobi University, and when she finishes, she can get an opportunity to come to work with Kenya Wildlife Service. Thank you.
That's very good.
Thank you so much. And unless you donate to the endowment fund, then my daughter will not have something to take care of in the next 10 years. So please go to that portal, KWS donations, and donate something. Thank you very much. We close the panel.
Thank you so much. If you don't mind, you can come closer to each other for a quick photo, and then we'll be able to close that. Digi, you're giving him a gift. Okay, just come closer. Just come closer for the photo. Thank you so much. Excellent. Yes, that's beautiful. The ladies at the center. Gentlemen, you're gentlemen, really. Thank you so much. Photo, let's look at him. In 3, 2, 1, go. And then let's look at this late one. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go. Excellent. You got it? Asante sana. Thank you, panelists. You may take your seats. Asante, let's appreciate them one more time with a beautiful round of applause. Asante sana. That was a beautiful moment. Tech team, this is your moment now to kindly come and fix the stage now as we get ready for our next sessions. So tech team, this is a moment. Sam and team, please do the necessary things. We could remove everything else, all the paraphernalia. This is important for us. How was it? How was the panel? Was it great? Excellent. I feel like at this moment I qualify to get a Jamaican passport. So far I've been very good to you, so remember me. Remember me as we got there. Thank you so much. And even as we're having this chat, our Honorable Cabinet Secretary, Prime Cabinet Secretary is already taking his session at the booths, and we appreciate him for that. Once he gets here, we're all going to quickly stand just to welcome him once again back to the sitting. I think you've killed my microphone. Checking 1, 2. Okay, excuse me, please let me have my mic back, please, even as you're fixing the rest. Thank you so much. So we're able to do that. Oh, you wanted to do a quick test? All right. May I have the Bombers of Kenya ready, if you don't mind, so they can get in set. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all stand to welcome our Prime Cabinet Secretary as he comes in. And if you don't mind, you could appreciate him with a clap. Thank you so much. Karibu sana. Our chief guest is right here, and we are honored to have you right here to come over for a closing ceremony right here. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence right here. Asante sana. This is our Right Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you so much. And tech team, if you're ready, we're going to quickly do a quick verse of the anthem. So let's get set straight in so we can get started, allowing the photographers to have their moment. Thank you so much, photographers. If you don't mind, we are now ready for the first verse of the Kenya National Anthem. Over to you, DJ. Let's have the National Anthem.
Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, na tupate na ustawi.
Thank you so much. You may kindly take your seats. And distinguished for the state members, you may kindly now exit so we're able to have our session right here. Our Prime Cabinet Secretary of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, welcome, sir. We appreciate your presence right here. And at this moment, I would like us to get straight to to our closing ceremony. And to start us off, I want to request our Principal Secretary, Honorable John Ololtua, to kindly come over right here and start us off with the closing session and plenary as we speak about the pathways to 2030 and regional commitments for resilience that we have had in this conference. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you. Our chief guest for the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Rebecca Miano, Honorable Ministers of Tourism from Jamaica, Honorable Edmund Bartlett, South Sudan, Honorable Denai Job, DRC, Honorable Kwete Lobo, the Secretary of State, Ministry of Tourism of Angola, all international delegates hereby present, and Your Excellency, we have many countries represented here. I will read them out, and thereafter ask them just to stand so that we can applaud them for coming, except, of course, the ministers, just the other delegates. I'll be requesting that they stand. We have delegates from Jamaica, Saudi Arabia, Zambia, Ghana, UAE, Rwanda, Somalia, Angola, DRC, Uganda, and of course, Kenya. And I will request all the international delegates from wherever they are just to wave so that we recognize your presence. All the international delegates who are here with us, thank you very much. A round of applause for them. My PS colleague, PS Sylvia Mseya, our County Commissioner, Nairobi North, Bwana Simon Osumba, all distinguished delegates, we include our CEOs, our chairpersons, ministry officials, Kenya Tourism Federation, and all other distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Mine will be very, very brief. Let me first of all introduce my PS colleague, Sylvia Mseya, the PS Wildlife. You can wave to the PCS and the honorable ministers. Mine is just to make one comment, then I invite the CS to proceed from here. Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, we have been having about, this is the third day since the conference started, which is actually the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo. And in the few days that we have been here, Your Excellency, there has been a lot of discussions on tourism resilience that have been going on. Several panels have discussed, and Your Excellency, I'm sure they'll be able, a declaration will be read out at a later stage on what was discussed and what was agreed. And so I want to thank you so much, Your Excellency, for finding time to come and grace the closing. And of course, thank all the honorable ministers from the different countries, honorable delegates that have come. Thank you so much. With those few remarks, I would like therefore to take this opportunity to say let's have a round of applause as we welcome our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Rebecca Miano. A round of applause as she comes. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PS. Our chief guest, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the climax towards the end of our conference. But before I say one or two words, I would like to invite my colleague ministers from the countries that are represented here to just make one or two remarks. And I will start with the Minister of Wildlife Conservation and Tourism from South Sudan, Honorable Denny Jok Chagor.
Thank you very much. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. Sorry, I'm having issue with the mic. Can you use it? Perfect, thank you. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Minister of Tourism from Jamaica, Honorable Minister of Tourism from Congo, Deputy Minister of Tourism from Angola, and all invited guests from international to local to regions. Thank you so much for having us here. And also our remarkable host, the Minister of Tourism of Kenya, Rebecca Miano. Thank you so much for a wonderful invitation to all of us. And also the Kenyan people who are here today. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, history tells us that human life is always a work that is start buildings from the creation, and we start still working on it, and it will continue for a generation to come. And that we are all one global citizens. We divided ourselves with boundaries. We divided ourselves with culture, religions. But the God who created us, we are one. And that you can see from all across the globe, our needs are always one. We might have different politics, we might have different cultures, but at the same time, we're bound together as one human being. I bring to you a great greetings from the people of South Sudan and the government of South Sudan. One of your neighbor who's very close to you. And in this forum, we were so excited when we get the invitation, because for us as Kenya, we share the same tourism aspiration. South Sudan is known for a great wildlife migrations, which I said yesterday is the biggest in the world. And it's also next door to you. In this sector, we can do a lot. But while we work on it, we need to keep one thing in mind, that everything that government do, everything that we do together, it must come together to make sure that it lifts up ordinary citizens in Kenya, in South Sudan, and across the globe. We're talking about resilience. But we cannot have resilience until one ordinary person in a village has a decent job where they can make financial decisions for their families. Average Kenyans who are watching this forum, from the rural areas to the urban areas, they must be asking themselves today, what is in it for me? What is in it for my family? What is in it for my community? What is in it for my neighbor? But all of those are thrown at us, especially at the government, that we are the institution that has to provide for our citizens. Whether in area of data that was talked about earlier, whether in the area of resilience, whether in area of preparation for natural disasters, we have to make sure that each family and every each home have to make those decisions on their own, not necessarily the government. The government have to provide the lead to make sure that everybody has a decent life, right here in Kenya and across the globe. So, Honorable Minister, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. Sorry if I take a lot of times. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Minister. We will have Honorable Kwete Labo from DRC. Bonjour, Minister.
Merci.
Thank you very much.
Excellence, Monsieur le Premier ministre,
His Excellency, the Prime Minister,
Monsieur le ministre,
all the honorable ministers,
Madame et Monsieur les fonctionnaires, les hauts fonctionnaires de l'État,
and all the other dignitaries and protocols observed.
chers participants, tout protocole observé.
Dear participants, all protocols observed.
La RDC est un emblage unique habitant allant de Makro au Congo central, à l'ouest au glacier de Ruwenzori.
And this external function gives us too much grace as the DRC Congo.
Des savanes et du centre du sud du pays, aux forêts humides du nord offrant de visites possibilités d'une immense variété de pratiques d'activités écotouristes.
The savanna and the great extension of the southern part of the DRC gives great welcome to all the tourists and the visitors.
En termes de chiffres, on retrouve en RDC Congo 155 millions d'hectares, soit 50% des forêts tropicales humides d'Afrique.
The foreign exchange that is earned from tourism, ranging from the millions of shillings that has been mentioned, has much great potential economic value to the DRC.
Et c'est ce qui fait de cette destination touristique le deuxième poumon de la planète après l'Amazonie, avec 8% de carbone mondial stocké et 145 000 km de tourbières enfouies.
And therefore, the much impact that the carbon exchange, which ranges to 80%, gives a lot of impact on the tourism.
Un réseau hydrographique composé de lacs du fleuve Congo.
And in Africa, comprised of the physical features, the lakes and all those other physical features in Congo.
Avec lui-même 4 700 km de longueur, soit soit le deuxième de l'Afrique.
And about 4,000 kilometers of area that surrounds the entire Africa in DRC.
Avec l'influence continue de jeter avec débit régulier de 41 000 mètres, soit deuxième du monde après l'Amazonie.
And with more than 4,000 of this particular exchange surrounds all the households.
Avec plus ou moins 450 tribus, la RDC présente autant de gastronomie, autant d'artisanaux traditionnels, autant de légendes, autant de danses, autant de traditions, autant d'œuvres d'art.
And equally, all this gives exchange with gastronomy, that is eating, cultural, and equally all the people.
Depuis l'avènement du président de la République Tshisekedi Tshilombo à la magistrature du pays,
and therefore, with all the permission of His Excellency Chilombo and the entire country,
le programme d'action du gouvernement dans son premier pilier et plus précisément dans l'axe stratégique 1, 2, 3 a retenu le secteur du tourisme, l'un des leviers des investigations de l'économie nationale à travers la création d'emplois, la protection des pouvoirs d'achat des ménages, l'amélioration du cadre institutionnel réglementaire du secteur, la mise en œuvre d'une stratégie marketing de la destination du Congo, la création des zones de développement, expansion des touristes.
And all this with a lot of impact on the entire country with regards to employment creation, cultural exchanges, and every other value that goes down or trickles down to the local economy in the Congo.
Au regard de cette articulation du tourisme dans les programmes précités, il devient important pour le ministère du Tourisme ainsi que tous les secteurs cadres institutionnels, y compris le secteur privé, examinent des stratégies d'anticiper, d'absorber carrément, d'adapter, qui feront à ce que le secteur touristique soit à mesure de résister aux chocs intérieurs-extérieurs afin de perturber la réalisation des actions prévues dans le cadre du programme précité.
And therefore, with all this so much impacts, therefore, what we recover, or what has been discovered and discussed from this exchange in this Global Tourism Resilience Day, especially on tourism resilience, is so much important for the entire sector in Congo and the entire world at large.
Ainsi que la participation du ministère du Tourisme de mon pays dans cette conférence exposition rêve-t-elle toute cette pertinence car la résilience du tourisme désigne la capacité de destination d'un pays.
And therefore, as a Minister of Tourism, the element of resilience is so much important for the entire nation at large.
Des entreprises publiques et privées.
The public enterprises and organizations are so much privileged.
Des communautés locales à anticiper, absorber, s'adapter à se remettre des chocs tels que pandémie, de guerre, des catastrophes naturelles ou la crise économique, tout en maintenant les fonctions essentielles à améliorer la durabilité.
And therefore, the local people are also privileged to be able to know how to be able to adapt from these pandemic shocks, tourism shocks, wars, hunger, and so much other challenges.
Se faisant aux situations de la guerre, d'agression qui se sont suivies à partir de notre pays, laquelle est considérée comme le fleuron de notre tourisme.
And therefore, the crisis that is being experienced from his country is also one of the major crises that is affecting the tourism sector.
Ceci avec comme conséquence le développement de mauvais narratifs sur notre destination touristique.
And therefore, it is so much important that this is being addressed so that you can be able to address or to improve the tourism sector in the country.
Cette conférence sur la résilience du tourisme tombe à point, nommée d'expérience sur la résilience de ce secteur phare dans notre programme économique, malgré ces mauvais narratifs, mais aussi de bénéficier de la bonne pratique au pays et en matière de développement d'un tourisme résilient.
And therefore, this program, in essence, will be able to bring about so much importance to the economy, and especially with regards to the economy.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, Monsieur le ministre,
and therefore the Prime Minister for this ministry,
distingués invités,
all distinguished guests, the Prime Minister, distinguished guests.
Dans un contexte de guerre et d'agression qu'il a revu de notre partie orientale, de notre territoire national,
with regards to the wars and the battles that are happening within the French country,
depuis plusieurs décennies,
with so much definitions of wars,
le tourisme de la RDC s'est montré très résilient par sa capacité de s'adapter et de résorber les chocs à la fois extérieurs et intérieurs.
Therefore, the tourism sector has to be adapted for resilience, both interiorly, within, and externally.
Je peux citer ici plusieurs cas de résilience.
I can be able to cite 4 elements of resilience.
L'amélioration du gouvernance par la promulgation de la loi numéro 018 9 juillet 2018 portant principal fondamental et l'adoption de la politique nationale du tourisme.
Okay, improvement of laws and policies that will be able to address tourism.
La mise en œuvre d'une série de stratégies de marketing et communication centrées sur le tourisme en tant que soft power congolais.
Placing together marketing and promotion strategies to be able to ensure tourism promotion is addressed in Congo.
L'utilisation de l'événement comme catalyseur du changement des narratifs sur la destination touristique en RDC.
To be able to also utilize the foreign exchange earnings that are gotten from DRC Congo.
Par exemple, le Léopard Business Village, lors de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations de football pour partager l'expérience avec le Royaume du Maroc.
For example, what has been seen that tourism can be able to bring about sports and earnings. For example, what has taken place in Morocco from the African Cup of Nations.
L'organisation de relance des activités touristiques dans les 26 provinces du pays à travers le concept Semaine congolaise du tourisme, dont la dernière édition a eu lieu à Lubumbashi.
For example, also what has taken place in Congo, like the organization of the IUDS conference.
L'accompagnement de l'encadrement du secteur privé à travers leurs activités, à l'occurrence DRC Me Travel, en collaboration avec le Kenya Tourism Award Congo, River en collaboration avec la République du Congo, l'élection Miss Universelle.
And also, importantly, also having collaborations with Congo, Kenyan affair, to be able to improve also what is happening in tourism in Congo.
Cette expérience mérite d'être signée comme faisant désormais partie des bonnes pratiques congolaises en matière de résilience des secteurs tels que l'importance de notre participation à la 4e édition en nous réservant d'autant d'idées et écoutant les autres partagent leurs bonnes pratiques.
And therefore, this conference has served as a good example to be able to obtain so much experience from what is being done in other countries that can be able to be adapted to DRC Congo.
Et remercie notre pays frère, ou la République frère Kenya pour l'hospitalité.
And therefore, he wants me to appreciate Kenya for being granted a lot of hospitality for the DRC Congo in general.
Monsieur le Premier ministre, Monsieur le ministre et chers participants, je vous remercie pour votre attention particulière.
His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Honorable CS, and the other ministers, I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
May I invite Augusto from the Republic of Angola?
Thank you very much, Minister Rebecca Miano, Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary, and all protocol observed. I have just a few words about our participation in this event. First, to thank you, the government of Kenya, for the invitation. It has been a very fruitful discussion, and we have learned a lot, and we understand that now resilience should be part of our politics and our institutional framework. Angola, as you may know, has been through a structural challenge from the impacts of the pandemic to historical constraints related to connective infrastructure and international position. So right now, we are putting our resilience policy through the following aspect. First of all, we have starting the process of administrative simplification and visa facilitation. Angola now has a visa-free policy for more than 100 countries, so we are now more open to the world. And second, we are strengthening the air connectivity and the investment in infrastructures. The construction of the new airport and the Lubito corridor are both infrastructures that Angola are building that may allow resilience in the future. So just to finish, we understand and we have learned in this meeting that resilience in practice means medium-term strategic planning, data-driven governance, sustainable public-private partnership, and effective regional cooperation. Angola remains fully committed to work with the states, African states, and the UN tourism to strengthen preparedness and response to disruption. So thank you very much, and I hope I come back here again. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And now we have Honorable Edmond Bartlett, the Minister for Tourism in Jamaica and the founder of the Global Tourism, Resilience and Crisis Management Center.
Thank you very much, esteemed Secretary of Tourism and Wildlife in the great country of Kenya, His Excellency or Prime Secretary of the Cabinet, distinguished ministers and partners all in tourism, and particularly those who are involved in the global governance of resilience in the tourism space. I'm delighted to participate with you in the closing exercises of this most powerful expression and statement from the great country of Kenya to the world regarding the importance of building resilience in tourism. Tourism being the most vulnerable of all industries, but in its vulnerabilities, have shown resilience beyond any other industry. Its capacity to respond and respond quickly and bounce back, as we say, becoming the mainstay of economic recovery programs in all countries. Tourism, therefore, makes that statement to the world that it is not sufficient to worry about disruptions. It's only sufficient, indeed, if we can respond to disruptions in real time, because a wait is impatient of building a future. A wait is contradictory to the spirit of being able to thrive after disruptions. And so I wanted to make that point as we close, and to indicate that the resilience movement in tourism, which I have the honor of being the founder of, makes one big point: that today's disruptions have changed dramatically. And the most critical change has been influenced by the technology that is going to entail the new future for tourism: AI and digitization. And today I'm to announce that we will be putting to the world the first and most seminal thought leadership presentation, a book on destination reputational resilience. And that book will help to define the way forward to respond to these fake news, misinformation, and disinformation that has been playing havoc to destination integrity across the world and individual integrity, and have so misplaced our positions, and is forcing for a new story to be told, our story. And it forces us to consider that critical importance of being able to tell your story in real time. Because then and only then will you be able to position yourself appropriately in the global space. So, Madam Minister, we have had a very strong and abiding partnership expressed in codified form with a formal memorandum of understanding, which we signed in 2019 and which today we will renew. And after that renewal, we will launch the book. And then, of course, the Declaration of Nairobi on tourism resilience will ensue. And that declaration will be the statement that will guide us onto the next iteration of the Global Resilience Day, which will take place in Malaga, in Spain, on the 17th of February, 2027. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Before we invite our chief guests, we have only 2 activities. I'll invite the PS to take us through the signing of the MOU. Then we are going to launch a book. Then we'll invite our chief guest.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I will not read the statement because it's long, but today, let me just read the first part. The government of the Republic of Kenya and Jamaica have entered into a formal understanding to deepen the long-standing ties of friendship between their 2 countries. As has been indicated, an MOU was signed in 2019, and today we are signing a renewal of the same MOU that outlines a number of areas that the 2 countries will collaborate. With that, therefore, I'm requesting if the team is ready, our Honorable Ministers, Honorable Rebecca Miano, and the Honorable Minister from Jamaica, to be on the signing table. And then we'll have witnesses, a witness from Jamaica and from Kenya standing behind as they sign. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen and colleagues, this memorandum of understanding, which was signed originally in 2019, is being renewed today. And I'm very pleased and proud to indicate that there are two critical outcomes from this memorandum, which is now a reality. One is the establishment of the Global Tourism Resilience Center at the Kenyatta University here in Nairobi, Kenya. And that institution has been powerful, and it has presented to Eastern Africa and the Indian Ocean a reference, institutional reference for tourism ideas and for toolkitting. I'm excited about the work that the university has done in this regard, and it has spread beyond East Africa into Europe as well as the United States. And here I'd like to commend the outgoing director, Dr. Esther. Is Esther in the audience? Please come forward, and I would like her to be acknowledged. And with her successor, the new director, is right here with us, yes, the new director. And tomorrow we will visit the Kenyatta University to renew again our relationships as we move forward with this great movement across the world, south to south. The second outcome on our side is that, and maybe my minister colleague might not want me to steal her thunder in that regard, but because it is of such great importance to us in tourism in terms of the legal and legislative framework that must guide the future of our industry, we are very humbled to suggest that we will be borrowing your tourism regulatory authority as one of the critical elements for the managing of the governance of tourism in Jamaica.
All right, let's appreciate that moment with beautiful claps, marking the MOU signing of the two governments. Thank you so much. Once again, a round of applause to that moment. Asanteni sana.
For my sins, before we actually for my sins. I've had this year 50 years of public service. So this year is my 50th year as a public representative in the Parliament of Jamaica. And someone, not me, someone has decided to create someone, not me, has decided to create a tabletop with pictorial representation of my journey in 40 years, from 1980 to 2022. Another one will have to be done in short order. But I'd like to make a presentation to the Minister of this, my book, The Journey, the Service, the Man. A time capsule of my 40 years in public life. Thank you. So,
let's appreciate that moment as well. That's the launch of that particular book, which is a pictorial. And if you'd like a copy, just make sure that you hang around the Jamaican people. Speak in a nice way, you might end up with a good copy as well. Excellent moment there, being launched right here in Kenya at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day. Congratulations.
Good afternoon again, everyone. This book, and apologies for my voice, it seemed to be breaking up. Every morning, Minister Bartlett and I would have conversations about world affairs. And if you check the WhatsApp communications between myself and Minister Bartlett, we have over, and if you printed it, we had over 4 reams of conversations. And when I say 4 reams, I'm talking about a letter size pack paper. And we took the conversations, the notes, as well as the presentations and the lectures, and codified it into this book. We thought it was important because resilience is usually articulated jointly with pandemics, epidemics, climate shocks, and other threats. But not many persons associate resilience with digital concerns. And it is emerging. Since the implementation or since the popularization of Gen AI, many persons have the technology and the capabilities now to create realities that they want. So this book speaks about this, but beyond that, the book goes a little bit further. The last chapters actually have a strategy that you can use to mitigate against these things. It has a strategy that you can use to prepare for and anticipate and manage and recover from our destination reputational crisis. So I'm encouraging you to buy the book. It will be available on Amazon mid-March. It's being finalized by the reviewers. The final version should also have an app that you can also use to triangulate information about concerns that you may have. I will actually, that was the last thing. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Professor Waller. So he indicated that the last chapter is critical and it has a 100-day destination, reputation, resilience, implementation roadmap. And that we leave with you. So, sorry we don't have a copy for everybody, but we certainly would like to give the first copy of this book, and it's a historic book. It is the first ever publication on the destination, reputation, resilience in relation to tourism, written by anyone, anywhere in the world. And so I'm going to ask our Prime Cabinet Secretary to be gracious enough to accept the first copy of this book to be made available anywhere in the world, right here in Nairobi, Kenya, from a brother of African descent to a father of Africa.
For the One Love.
Thank you very much for that session. I would like also to say that the memorandum of understanding that we have signed, one of the outcomes that we will get as Kenya is assistance in developing an AI tool for tourism in Kenya. They've done it and we will partner. And so there are very many things that will come out of this partnership. What the minister from Jamaica didn't tell us is that he's the longest serving minister of tourism in the world. And that's why the book is very, very rich. I think before we invite you, Your Excellency, we are going to sign the communique or read the communique that contains the outcome of this conference. Yeah. So the Nairobi Declaration on Global Tourism Resilience, adopted at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo at Kenyatta International Convention Center, Nairobi, on 17th February 2026. Back in 2023, the United Nations General Assembly declared the 19th of February as the annual Global Tourism Resilience Day. The resolution, initiated by Jamaica and co-sponsored by 94 member states, underscores the international community's recognition of tourism resilience as a development priority. The global recognition builds upon the momentum generated by the previous 3 annual Global Tourism Resilience Day conferences and expos, all held in Jamaica. The day serves as a platform for advancing dialogue, partnership, and practical strategies to enhance the sector's capacity to anticipate, withstand, and recover from crisis.
So we, the ministers, policymakers, industry leaders, development partners, academics, and stakeholders assembled in Nairobi between February 16th to 18th, 2026, and guided by the theme, Tourism Resilience in Action, from the crisis response to impactful transformation, reaffirm our shared commitment to strengthening resilience across the global tourism sector. Therefore,
recognizing tourism as a fundamental driver of economic growth, employment, cultural exchange, and sustainable development, whilst acknowledging its growing exposure to climate, health-related, geopolitical, economic, technological, and social risks, and affirming that resilience is a strategic imperative for the survival and prosperity of the sector.
Do hereby adopt this Nairobi Declaration as a shared commitment to collective action, guiding our path towards 2030 and beyond. Article 1, institutionalizing resilience. Embed comprehensive resilience frameworks within the national tourism policies and legislative instruments to integrate crisis preparedness, risk assessment, and business continuity planning into destination management. Strengthen dedicated resilience units and foster cross-sectoral coordination.
Article 2 is financing resilience. We shall mobilize sustainable financing for resilient infrastructure, digital transformation, and climate adaptation, encourage blended finance and public-private partnerships to de-risk investments, and support small and medium-sized enterprises in building recovery capacity, establish a dedicated tourism resilience fund in every region to support preparedness, recovery, and sustainable growth.
Harness, that's Article 3, data innovation and technology. Harness data, artificial intelligence, and predictive analytics to anticipate and managing emerging crises. To promote digital transformation across the tourism value chain, supported by robust information systems enabling consistent measurement and reporting of resilient indicators. Encourage collaborative resource and knowledge exchange through institutions such as the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center.
We shall truncate Article 4, which is climate and nature positive tourism. Article 5, inclusive and human-centered resilience. Article 6 is regional and global cooperation. And now on implementation and accountability, develop measurable resilience indicators aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, create information systems capable of monitoring and reporting on resilience progress at national and regional levels, encourage annual progress reporting and periodic peer reviews to share learning and address challenges. And in conclusion,
by 2030, we envision a global tourism sector that is, one, more resilient to the shocks of an uncertain world, more inclusive in the distribution of opportunity, more sustainable in its environmental and social practice, and more collaborative in its governance.
Through shared leadership, we pledge ourselves to a future-ready, adaptive, and transformative tourism sector, one capable not merely of withstanding challenges, but of shaping a better world in their wake. And this is adopted in Nairobi, Republic of Kenya, this 17th day of February 2026. It is co-signed
by the Honorable Rebecca Miano, HGH, Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife, and
Edmond Bartlett Curtis, Minister of Tourism, Jamaica, plus our colleagues from DRC and from South Sudan, from Angola, and witnessed by all the delegations here today and all the participants who we have converted to our faithful witnesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Chief guest, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, as this conference and expo draws to a close, we have nothing but deep gratitude, first to you for creating time to come and join us today, and to our guests, organizers, participants, and everyone who contributed to its success. For the last 2 days, we have surveyed the shifting landscape of risk that now defines our world. We have drawn lessons from recent storms, both literal and metaphorical. We have charted the vulnerabilities that remain. More so, we have forged a conviction that resilience can no longer remain a postscript to crisis. It is the architecture upon which global tourism must be built. With those remarks, it is now my privilege and honor to invite our Prime Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, to address us and close this forum. I respectfully request that we all stand and invite him with a hand clap.
Captains of the tourism sector, ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged to address you during this closing ceremony of the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo that coincides with the Global Tourism Resilience Day. I believe you have enjoyed being in Kenya and had interactions with our people. I know you have had fruitful deliberations on tourism resilience during these 2 days. Tourism in Kenya remains one of the most powerful drivers of inclusive growth. It creates jobs, empowers our youth and women, helps to preserve our culture, and protects our wildlife and environment. It also builds bridges among our people, regional and international communities. Yet tourism is one of the most vulnerable sectors to global shocks such as pandemics, climate change, geopolitical pressures, and economic uncertainty. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic reminded us that resilience is a critical imperative in tourism. As we live here, let us join hands to build systems that can withstand disruption, adapt swiftly, and recover sustainably. Under the leadership of His Excellency President William Ruto, we have embraced tourism resilience as a national priority. Currently, we are investing in diversified tourism products, expanding beyond traditional wildlife safaris to include cultural tourism, ecotourism, MICE tourism, sports tourism, gastronomy tourism, and digital innovation in travel services. Additionally, we are committed to strengthening public-private partnerships, enhancing sustainability standards to protect our natural heritage, from the iconic savannas of the Masai Mara to our pristine coastline along the Indian Ocean. We are also building capacity for crisis preparedness, data-driven decision-making, and climate adaptation. As we progress with this narrative of tourism resilience, let us keep in mind that resilience means inclusion. Therefore, we should ensure that local communities, youth entrepreneurs, women-led enterprises, and small businesses are fully incorporated. The role of governments is to link them to financing, technology, and global markets. Further, I call upon you present here today to collaborate, since solitary action is as good as mute. The exchange of knowledge among nations represented here today has been inspiring. We have seen how innovation, policy coherence, and resilience, investing in resilience, crisis response, data-driven defense, and regional cooperation can transform vulnerability into opportunity. As we come to a close of this 4th Global Tourism Resilience today, the conference and expo, I urge each one of us to prioritize young entrepreneurs, women-led enterprises, and small businesses. Here, 3 key commitments come to mind. 1, the need to mainstream resilience into every tourism policy and investment decision. 2, the imperative of accelerating climate action within the tourism sector. And 3, to strengthen global partnerships that will enable shared learning and coordinated responses to crisis. For Kenya, we are ready and committed to continue working with all partners of tourism, resilience organizations, governments, academia, and the private sector to advance a tourism sector that is sustainable, inclusive, and future-ready. Allow me to extend our sincere gratitude to the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center in Jamaica, organizers, sponsors, academia, speakers, exhibitors, and delegates who have made this conference a success. In conclusion, I beseech you all, as you depart from Kenya, to carry with you the outcomes of this conference. Yes, but also an unbendable resolve to build a prosperous tourism sector with unshakable shock absorbers. Before I leave the podium, let me take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts of the Ministry of Tourism, led by Rebecca Miano, giving it a solid profile. The figures, as I was telling her, are looking good. In 2023, tourism earned us about 268 billion Kenya shillings. By end of 2024, the figures that have come through indicate that it rose to about 452 billion Kenya shillings. That is a rise of about 65 to 68% in terms of revenues. And we have also seen more international tourists. I think we got about 2.4 million from the international arena. And the target is to hit 5.5 million by next year, end of next year. So that is a very good trajectory. And we want to assure all the practitioners in this sector that we remain committed to developing our tourist sector to its full potential. I also want to thank all our guests who have been here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing your experiences with us. I will definitely look at the book from somebody who has been in public service for 50 years. Unbelievable. Well done. And definitely you have made a big contribution to the whole space of tourism. So with these remarks, let me wish you safe travels as you go back home and welcome you again to Kenya. Thank you. God bless you. And the forum is closed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary. And just before you take your seat, sir, we have a request to just take 3 quick pictures, and we would like you back on stage after they have cleared it. And I would want to request our 2 ministers, our own very own Rebecca Miano, and of course followed by Honorable Edmund, to kindly join you for the first picture. So we don't mind. The way we did it yesterday, Madam CS, just right there at the center. Excellent. We're going to start with that. And then just before we proceed on, let me start with that first, and then all the other ministers are going to join you for this one. If you don't mind, you could take your seats and the rest of us. Photographers, be ready. It's going to be very wide in a moment. There you go. 3 to go. May I request the other ministers kindly join us from South Sudan, Angola. Please come by as well. Kindly join this particular picture. Maybe we could take some 2 steps back to allow the photographers to have a good moment. Right? Excellent. There you go. Let's join that. And tech team, you could push that table away so that we can be able to have a good session. There you go. Lovely. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being right there and helping us in this particular one. May I request that we also have, joining in this particular photo very fast, the officials from the Global Resilience Center, Jamaica and Kenya. Kindly come up very fast and join this particular picture. The officials from the Global Resilience Center, Jamaica and Kenya. Please come up right now so we can close on that. And this one as well will also be joined by the permanent secretaries, the PSS, if you don't mind. Please allow the PSS to come in right here. And some of us are going to be here. All right? Photographers, I don't know how you're going to do, but you can use the back there. Now, you have the permission to just walk that way so that you're able to take nice pictures, right? Excellent. Our PSS as well are in. Lovely, lovely. There you go. There you go. I think we're trying to see how we can arrange Jamaican style. There you go. Excellent, excellent. Let's look straight at the cameras. Thank you so much. That should be it. There's one more. Yeah, it's not complete until the 2 ladies are in. Thank you so much. And finally, I'm going to request the CEOs to kindly come, and the CEOs will come here at the front. You just stand at the front so we can have one big picture. All right? CEOs, please come right here. And I'm going to request one more time that we stand. Come right here, all the way to the end, right there. Excellent. There you go. And the other CEOs on the other end, please come right here. Even private sector, please come right here at the center. There you go. And then I'm going to ask the delegates at the back, kindly take a step forward. Just one more step forward, just to ensure that the photo looks as good as it can. We have some more space on this at the end. There you go. Excellent. Lovely, lovely. This is beautiful. Excellent. Could you kindly jump up? It looks like it could work that way. Yes, up there. Yes, there you go. There you go. Excellent. We're just trying to organize it very well so that it looks good. Lovely. Gentlemen, the two gentlemen at the end, come this side. We have more space for you here so we can have a clean photo. Excellent. Lovely. I think we got it now. Excellent. So in 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Thank you so much. We're going to request that the Prime Cabinet Secretary remains right there for the national anthem as the rest of us take our seats. Thank you so much. So we can have our anthem and then we can close. Thank you so much once again, Right Honorable Prime Minister. We're going to close with the national anthem. I ask us all to stand. And we're going to request our Prime Cabinet Secretary to remain right there for the close of the session with the Kenya National Anthem. Over to you, the Kenya National Anthem, please. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate our chief guest, the Right Honorable, and we're going to request the cabinet ministers as well, together with our chief guest, to kindly exit. Let's allow them to exit first, the hall, together with our delegates, all the ministers in the house, kindly exit. And then the rest of us, I'm going to give you directions on how we're going to have our sessions and our exits. But thank you so much. That was a beautiful moment. That marks the end of this particular Day 2 of this great session we've had today, and we have had great moments of the signing of the MOUs, being graced as well by the Chief Cabinet Secretary, and we appreciate that particular moment. Just like yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, if you are red tagged on your badge, we shall have a session for lunch just on first floor. The rest of the delegates with a different colored badge, especially the blues, the 10